This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Rameca Vincent Leary and welcome to this edition of Pensacola State Today. No matter where your educational aspirations may lead, Pensacola State College can help you reach your destination. You may need help filling out a college application, financial aid forms, or choosing a program of study. We're here to help. During this program, we'll explore federal outreach and student initiatives known as TRIO programs that are administered, funded, and implemented by the United States Department of Education. There are 5 TRIO programs at Pensacola State College, and we'll be highlighting all of them. To get the conversation started, we're happy to welcome Rachelle Burns, Director of TRIO Student Support Services. She is joined by a delightful PSC student, Regina Young. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Oh, we're excited. Rachelle, let's start with you. Please do give us an overview of the program.
So the TRIO Student Support Services program is a student success program, essentially. The goal of the program is to help students who are at Pensacola State College to be successful, to be able to stay enrolled in their classes, to do well, and to eventually graduate, and if their aspirations lead them, to also transfer to a 4-year university.
All right, Regina, one-on-one tutoring and your very own academic advisor. How did you feel when you found out about these services?
I was so delighted, and I was also thankful, and it also took a lot of worries and burdens off of me to worry about who's going to help me, where I'm going to look for tutoring and stuff like that.
So let's talk a little bit more about you and your background. What piqued your interest initially in Pensacola State College?
Well, I started, I graduated from the Pensacola State Collegiate High School.
Great.
And from there, Mr. Spears, he told me about the TRIO program. And I went over there and I applied, and I think that was the best day ever when I got accepted into the program.
Okay, so what are you studying right now at the college?
My major is social worker.
Very good. And you aspire to help people in need?
Yes, ma'am. That's my dream.
Do you think you'll obtain maybe a 4-year degree somewhere down the line?
I most definitely will, yes, ma'am.
And you seem very determined about that, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Rachelle, let's talk about the criteria for anyone wanting to come in.
If a student is interested in being part of our program, they have to meet one of 3 criteria. Either they have to be a first-generation college student, which just means that neither parent has a bachelor's degree already.
Okay.
Or if they're low income, typically if a student is receiving the Pell Grant through financial aid, then they would be eligible for our program. And then if they had a documented disability, any one of those criteria would make them eligible. They also have to have some sort of academic need, whether it's that they are taking developmental classes, they have a low GPA, perhaps they have a few failing grades, and they just need a little extra support.
That sounds good. So let's break down some of the tutorial services, the subject matter.
Well, the main focus are the general education requirements, because coming in, most students need help with things like English and math and sciences. But we also have tutors that can tutor in other things like different languages and some of the specialty courses like anatomy and physiology.
Regina, the first day that you walked into the office, what was the impression that you had?
Just love and support there, the support that they give you. And in the TRIO program, they don't consider you just a student or any student. They know you, and they're there for you. And the compassion and the love and the care and the support that the TRIO program offers us is just amazing.
You are the most important person in the room, aren't you? I can feel that love. That energy is emanating right over here where I am. And that smile on your face. I know you've told other people about it, haven't you?
Most definitely. I can't keep my mouth closed about the program. And it's like I said, It's the support that we have there that you cannot get from nowhere else. And if it had not been for the TRIO program, I don't think I would succeed, or I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Oh, it's exceptional. Let's talk about some of the videos that those coming in can watch, because some people may not have expanded their horizons. Would you like to talk about some of that as well, Rachel?
So we encourage students to take workshops on campus, but a lot of students don't have the time necessarily to be able to stay and participate in those. So we make available different videos to help them to improve their study skills, to improve their money management skills, and to generally just to help them to be more successful students.
Have you ever suffered from test anxiety, Regina? I know I have.
Most definitely. Yes, ma'am.
So one of the videos actually deals with that.
It does, and it helps us, it coaches us and teaches us how to, you know, while we're test taking, just to take it easy.
Trips. In the green room, Rachel, Regina and I were talking about a trip that you took recently through this program.
Yes,
I think
ma'am.
it's exciting. Tell us where you went, and there's something that you saw for the first time. What was it?
The TRIO program blessed us to take a trip to North Carolina to see the to visit the Cherokee Reservoir. And I'm telling you, it was not just fun, but it was very educational. And for me to be able to be blessed to go on that trip, you know, many of us in the program, we probably wouldn't have never been able to have that opportunity. And the first time of me seeing mountains, that was the first time I've ever seen mountains before in my life. So I'm telling you, it was the most amazing trip ever. And to know about the lives of the Cherokee Indians and the Trail of Tears, and I'm telling you, it was breathtaking but very educational.
We can definitely imagine that. Rachel, scholarship searches. There are so many students that come to college and they're unaware of monies that are available. So expand on that, please.
We assist students with finding scholarships. So in addition to the scholarships that are available through Pensacola State College, there are other websites and organizations that they can apply to. And actually in our program, we have what we call grant aid that's available to students after they've been in our program for a couple of semesters. It's a supplement to the Pell Grant. And so they have lots of options for getting additional money through our program.
They sure do. Regina, I know that you're going to reach beyond yourself to help others. Do you see yourself tutoring others that are coming in, maybe possibly? I know that you've benefited from a lot of the services.
Yes, ma'am, most definitely. And that's my goal, is to give back. And one of the goals of giving back is to also open my big mouth and let other students know, hey, this is a program that's here, that they're here to support you. They're also here to help you if you need if there's any questions or any doubts that you may have. We can always go to our TRIO advisors and Miss Burns, of course, and they will guide you and lead you in the right way.
That is so true, and I know that our website, pensacolaState.edu, has more information about all this. I have been oh so very inspired by both of you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, folks, as we head to break, we want to unveil a new announcement that highlights one of PSC's 5 TRIO programs, the Educational Opportunity Center. Take a look.
Did you know the TRIO Educational Opportunity Centers can assist you with your college enrollment process and even help you take the first steps toward establishing a stable future? Conveniently located on 3 Pensacola State College campuses, the TRIO Educational Opportunity Centers offer free services and information that help you navigate the confusing but critical early steps for enrolling into the college of your choice. The center's free services include help with admissions, financial aid, including FAFSA completion, educational and career exploration, referrals to other student support services, and much more. Our goal is to help you build a pathway for initial success in starting college and building a foundation for continuing achievement as you pursue your educational goals. Give us a call or visit our website to apply today. We can help put you on the pathway to a successful future.
Hello, everyone. During this segment, we'll be highlighting 2 more TRIO programs. It's a pleasure to introduce Tim McGowan, Director of the Educational Opportunity Center. We also have Juanita Edwards, Director of the Educational Talent Search. Ladies first. So, Juanita, let's start with you. Please give us an overview of the program, will you?
Okay. The Educational Talent Search program is designed for students in grades 6 through 12, so we work in middle and high schools, and the purpose is to help prepare students for college or vocational training after graduating from high school.
The mind, right? Formative minds. A lot of times people walking the halls of a middle school or a high school might not be thinking about educational elements, but the fact that we do this at the Educational Talent Search, I think, is phenomenal.
Right.
Some people have test anxiety, so SAT, ACT test prep. Can you expand on that for us?
Yes, we do SAT and ACT boot camps, we call them, and we hire someone from out of town through Mastery Prep to come and go over what questions, not the questions, but the types of questions that are going to be asked and prepare them for SAT and ACT. We also give a fee waiver for our students who are taking the SAT and ACT.
That's good to know. We'll come back to you in just a moment. Tim, let me step over into your world, the Educational Opportunity Center. Now, we want to dispel a myth. You provide a service where anyone wanting to fill out a college application can come, you can provide that assistance for them, and they won't have any worries, will they?
Well, they may have some worries.
Maybe, how am I going to pay for this and other things, right?
And that's one of the things we'll try to assist them with, to help them with that worry, okay? Basically, we're there to kind of pick up where Juanita's program stops off, and basically we'll work with any traditional age student and or non-traditional age student, that is an adult, who has an interest in going to school for the first time, or if they're a transfer student, or if they're someone who started and stopped out. So we're really interested in doing that. One of the myths that you're talking about in terms of myth busting is that because we're located on the Pensacola State campus, we're only interested in helping people go to Pensacola State. But no, we're there to help everyone. We're a federal fund. So basically, we are there for anyone to help them with free services who want to go back to school and they want to make those decisions.
I like the word free. So qualification, 18 years of age or older, is that right?
Well, basically 18 years of age or over, but we'll work again with seniors if they're not basically already in the Educational Talent Service program or otherwise. We'll actually sit down with them and their parents and help them start making some of these decisions. In particular, in terms of filling out the FAFSA form, the free application for federal student aid.
Yes, money.
That's a critical step. So we'll sit down with them and help them kind of go through that process as well. But also we're there to help them make decisions about career choice or in terms of educational programming choice, things along that line.
So what about the person that comes to you, maybe they have not finished high school or would like to obtain a GED? What would you do?
We would basically sit down with them, same type of process. We'd have them sit with one of our 4, actually 5, we have 4 full-time and 1 part-time, we'd call them educational specialists or case managers, and they would sit down, listen to their situation, and basically point them to resources such as local GED programs, whether they be at Georgetown Technical College, Pensacola State's own adult learning programs, things along that line.
All right, let's get back to this Educational Talent Search, Juanita. Free tutoring, math, reading, writing, science. Seems like the sky's the limit.
Yes, and as you said, everything's free. So the free tutoring, we have a tutoring lab across the hall from our office at the Pensacola campus, and we also have tutoring at the Milton campus. So it's Monday through Thursday at the Pensacola campus from 4 o'clock to 8 p.m. And then the Milton campus at 6 to 9 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday.
It's interesting that we've been doing it here at Pensacola State College since 1985.
Right.
And one of the key things that I read about was the fact that there are summer camp enrichment activities.
Yes.
I'm interested. Let's talk.
Yes. One thing we do is we have the students come out. We have different programs. This year we have gotten a grant, a STEM grant. So we are going to provide services by going through IHMC a robotic program downtown, and also the Naval Flight Academy, where they actually spend the night, and it's as though they are on a regular naval ship. So those are a couple of things that we're planning for this coming summer. The other thing that we do a lot of college tours throughout the year. And that's one of the things that really gets the students excited about the colleges. They get to walk on the college campuses. This year we went to Florida State, and we also visited the Capitol. So we try to blend the cultural with that. We are getting ready to go to Troy State. So many students in our program end up going to one of the colleges that we visit because they're exposed to it. So, and everything's free. The trip is free. We provide meals.
Love
yes.
It. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM programs are so prevalent these days.
They are.
It's so exciting to hear that news, what we're doing here at Pensacola State College.
Right.
So, Tim, educational and career exploration. Honestly, some people are clueless. Let's be real about this, right? So will you expand on that? Because there might be someone who comes into the office, they have no idea what they want to do. They are interested in filling out a college application, but maybe they're a little apprehensive. How can you calm those fears?
Yeah. And actually that's one of the big obstacles, especially for adult learners. They want to go back to school, but they really do not know what they want to do. So basically what we do is that we arrange an initial appointment. We sit down, kind of go through some questions because there are some eligibility requirements with the program. We'll sit down with them, we'll schedule an appointment. They usually last for an hour for that initial appointment. And part of that, their question is what are my choices in terms of career programs, things along that lines. We'll sit down, we have career assessments that they'll go through. The people I mentioned before, the educational specialists, are extremely knowledgeable about the programs, very experienced. We've got people there that have been there for 20 years doing this job. That one particular person's dealt with over 10,000 individuals, so she knows the program.
I would believe that.
Yes.
She knows the program, so they're very experienced, they're very knowledgeable. They know the programs not only at PSC but elsewhere that are offered, so they like to talk about those programs. So they'll help those people kind of feel easy about that choice, to help them make that choice. Then they'll say, well, here's the next steps. Okay, you don't necessarily have to make this career choice at this point, but this is what you want to do next. That's what we're about.
Something I found interesting, reconciling defaulted student loans. There are some students that have made mistakes and they want to get back into the game. That you provide that assistance.
We provide that assistance, and I'm glad I have those educational specialists to do it because, as you said, that's a very complicated thing. It's a process, so we'll sit down. Oftentimes what will happen is people will make mistakes. For example, when they fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. So they'll come in and say, hey, we're stuck. We thought we were doing this right. So our people are trained to help go through that process and fix those problems. We'll work closely with other agencies or in particular offices, internal offices, if it's here at PSC. We'll work with the financial aid office and say, hey, how can we work together to solve this problem? Okay, so those are the types of steps that they might go through in terms of that, reconciling that particular problem.
Great information from both of you. I know our viewers are excited. Everyone, don't touch that dial. We'll be back in just a moment.
Did you know the TRIO Educational Opportunity Centers can assist you with your college enrollment process and even help you take the first steps toward establishing a stable future? Conveniently located on 3 Pensacola State College campuses, the TRIO Educational Opportunity Centers offer free services and information that help you navigate the confusing but critical early steps for enrolling into the college of your choice. The center's free services include help with admissions, financial aid, including FAFSA completion, educational and career exploration, referrals to other student support services, and much more. Our goal is to help you build a pathway for initial success in starting college and building a foundation for continuing achievement as you pursue your educational goals. Give us a call or visit our website to apply today. We can help put you on the pathway to a successful future.
Hello, everyone. During this segment, we're happy to welcome Rob Gregg, who will be playing a dual role. He'll expand our discussion by highlighting two more TRIO programs, Veterans Upward Bound and Student Support Services. Welcome, Rob.
Welcome.
I am so excited to hear about these programs. We're going to start with Veterans Upward Bound first. Tell us more about it, please.
Okay. TRIO Veterans Upward Bound is a Department of Education grant-funded program designed for college prep and veterans, qualified veterans who want to go back to school. What
are the criteria that must be met for someone to be a part of this specifically?
Much like many of the TRIO programs, first generation in college, which means that neither one of their parents had a college degree, a bachelor's or higher. Low income, for us, is 2/3 of our service population has to be low income, and of course be a veteran.
All right, so a day in the life of Rob Gregg. I know it must be very exciting. You have a lot of students who come through your doors, don't you?
Yes, yeah, we do. We're funded to serve 130 a year, and that could be from rollover. You know, the TRIO Veterans Upward Bound at Pensacola State College has been here for over 10 years. The TRIO Veterans Upward Bound program has been around since 1972.
So let's talk about some of these services, breaking a few of these down specifically. GED test preparation. I know we mentioned that earlier in the program, but then again, we find a lot of people that need that service.
You find a lot of that with vets who are the Vietnam era veterans. They can go into the military without having a high school diploma. Well, they come out and they need the GED or an equivalent certificate to get jobs, because we're now in a post-industrial society. And it's very hard for them to even get into school, let alone get into a certificate program that will prepare them for the job market.
So if I were to walk in the office, hypothetically, if I were a vet, I have a very rich military background with my family, that is. Right. So a student coming in, maybe they don't know anyone. They're greeted by someone who has a big smile on their face. Right. And tell us what they might see when they walk into the office, some of the first things.
First thing you see, and with any man, and you probably know this with from your father, a coffee pot.
A coffee pot. Hey, I wasn't expecting that one, but hey.
Well, the military doesn't function without coffee. I mean, just the way it is. So we start that with a coffee, and we shake your hand. And since both programs are housed in the same area, we ask a few questions. What are you here for? Now, again, going into a higher education environment is very intimidating. We get the coffee in them, have the conversation, and see if either one of the programs fit them.
So, getting back to specifics, reading, writing, math, science, and tutorial services also for foreign languages.
Yes, absolutely.
So Spanish, would that be
Spanish, and I think sign languages now is going to be listed as a foreign language, but we're investigating that as well.
Computers, access to computers, that is so important, because some people may not have a computer at home, and maybe they just want to come to your office as opposed to maybe going to a writing lab.
We have computer labs right across the street, right across the hall from our waiting area, and we have what we like to call a computer boot camp, which prepares them for everything computer related, from turning it on all the way up to utilization of the Microsoft Office products.
Okay, so let's delve into the realm of veteran student support services. And I do understand that we may have some overlapping qualities.
Okay, veteran student support services, ideally they are for the students who are already enrolled at the Pensacola State College campus. What's beautiful about them is that when they're done with us, we roll them right seamlessly into the veterans student support service realm.
So criteria for that pretty much mirrors?
Exactly, with the exception of they have disabled students.
Now, peer tutoring, that's something I would like to focus on, because students helping other students.
Well, from the Veterans Upward Bound perspective, what I like to do is once they're graduated and enrolled in school, I bring them back as student work studies. So they're there, they've been there, they've done that. So they were the best ones to relate to them.
Yes.
And give them that, the tricks of the trade, so to speak.
There's also grant aid available under this TRIO program. What specific types of money?
The grant aid for the Veteran Student Support Services is similar to the ones that Student Support Service, the traditional Student Support Service. So the same criteria that they use. You're in the program for a certain amount of time, and then you're eligible for the grant aid.
And cultural field trips. There are some people, the military is a culture, for example, but there might be people, as in our first segment, the young lady had never seen mountains before. So culturally speaking, would you like to share some of those experiences with these field trips?
Oh, absolutely. So today, my group is already out on a cultural field trip. We tie in a visit to a university or college that they may attend, and then we put in a cultural event, which is a museum or a Barrancas National State Park. But it's not necessarily in Florida.
Not necessarily in Florida. Okay, so I like the fact that there are peer tutors. Peer coaching is also something else that's quite prevalent. So maybe not necessarily a student, but others that work in the office, because reach one, teach one. Sometimes it varies as to whom may impact a student. It could be this or that, one service or the other, that might be that turning point.
What I've found in doing this program is that veterans relate to veterans. Not to say that someone else can't do it, but if I'm confronted with a Navy vet, we make a connection based on what we've already shared. And so I can give, or they lend more credence to the advice and or guidance I give them than anyone else.
I know that there are several students that have really impacted your life. And if you could just give us an example of one and maybe share that individual story with our viewers, I think it's so important.
Oh my gosh, I think the one that really stands out because she stays in contact with us all the time, and she's going to be a social worker, Rachelle Burns.
I actually know her.
Yes, she was here a couple of months ago. Michelle is now at UWF.
Okay.
A proud alum of VUB, and she's doing her internship at one of the nonprofits that service veterans in the area. So she has a wealth of information, and she's probably one of my biggest recruiters.
I am so thrilled to hear that. She's an exceptional woman. So others out there may be wondering, here's the question, what can we do for you? I want you to give our viewers some encouraging parting words.
Okay, TRIO Veterans Upward Bound is a Pensacola State College entity. We're one of only two in the state of Florida, but we also service two county areas, Santa Rosa and Escambia. So all of you who are out there, don't limit yourself to say that, well, you're not eligible to come to us because of your location. We will find a way to help you get what you need, whether it be through traditional means of transportation or we use virtual tutoring.
Virtual tutoring, I like that. Yeah. Rob Gregg, it is always a pleasure to be in your midst. Such an awesome guy. All right, everybody, as we close the show, I want to thank all of our guests for joining us. To find out more information about the 5 TRIO programs we discussed during the program, log on to pensacolaState.edu. These are exceptional services, and we look forward to helping you meet your educational goals. I'm Rameca Vincent Leary. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep it locked in right here on WSRE, PBS for the Gulf Coast.